Hitting rock bottom. What does that even mean? Well, for lots of people, it means lots of different things. But I wanted to tell you what I see the most in the work that I do. So if you don't know who I am, hello. I am Gina Stroll. I'm an intuitive healer, psychic medium, spiritual coach, and I spend my days helping beautiful, gorgeous, amazing people learn to live their best life. And part of this is really learning to work through tough shit. And life is not always a bed of roses. I know we want to believe and think that it is, but we can create a lot of things in our lives and we can bring in a lot of those things. But sometimes shit just happens. So what do we do with all of that? And when I talk to people and they really like hit rock bottom, that can mean a lot of different things for people. Maybe they're just going through a spiritual awakening. It feels like everything is falling apart. Everything that they have been working towards, wanting, desiring, it's just falling apart. Relationships, maybe they feel like maybe they're not necessarily done, but they're kind of crumbling. Things are shifting, things are changing. That can be rock bottom for a lot of people. For other people, it can literally be a financial rock bottom, a divorce. Literally, they have hit rock bottom. And usually, what happens is it happens to us in a lot of different areas in our lives all at the same time. And so it feels like this crumbling. And one thing that I have been talking about for years now is that we really we cannot build a new house on an old foundation. And what do I mean by that? You would never, I actually had some friends of ours who they lost their house. It burnt to the ground. And actually, I shouldn't say it didn't burn to the ground. It started on fire. There was some studs left. There was a concrete floor left. And literally, that was kind of it. There was a little bit of a shell left. And they, worked with their insurance company to go build a new house. Now, actually, the insurance company wanted to use some of the old stuff and rebuild this house for them. And they said, absolutely not. We're starting over. We're not going to use two befores in our new house that are burnt and have charcoal all over them. And, we're starting all over. We're starting from scratch. And so they literally started over from scratch, bulldozing everything down and really started to create a new home for themselves. And now they have a beautiful new home. It's in the same place as their old one. But it's a new house now with new two befores, new foundation, new all of the parts that we need. And our life is the same way. Our life is like this. And I believe this so much that when we start creating new things for ourselves, we do not want to go in on the old crumbled foundation and start building anew from there. That is building from where we left off. That is not creating new. So sometimes we have to go in and take a bulldozer to the whole thing, bulldoze it down, come in, put new footers in, and start from the basics and start building a house or our new foundation for our life from the ground up. Now, this can feel very uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. In fact, it will feel very uncomfortable because when we start feeling like everything is crumbling, it's falling to the ground, it kicks up our ego mind and it kicks us up into scarcity. It kicks us up into fear. It kicks us up into high alert with all these things. Our mind starts overthinking of everything that's going to go wrong and what's going to happen to us and how this is just going to be terrible. It's going to be bad. But the thing is, in order to create a new life for yourself, you have got to create this new foundation. It is essential. So, through the uncomfortableness, through all of the painfulness of this whole thing, this is where we start to create new. Now, when we're creating new, it feels difficult. I have been here many times. It does not feel good. I shouldn't say many times, but I've had several times in my life where I feel like everything is crumbling, relationships are crumbling, new really new things in life were happening. I wasn't sure how to deal with them. I even remember when my husband was getting ready to retire, that whole year was like building a new foundation for me. I wasn't sure what that looked like. I didn't know what money looked like. I didn't know what any of it looked like. And honestly, I hated every minute of it. I did not like being in that uncomfortable space. It felt like everything was just changing, and I did not like that. I also had heard and seen people around us that when their husbands retired, that they were gone within just a short period of time. They died. So this was kicking around in the back of my head too, although I had no evidence that that was happening for me. But as I was going through this, I had to learn to find safety and security in the unknown. And this is creating that new foundation for yourself. It's changing your belief systems for yourself. It was realizing that, oh no, not everybody retires and dies. Do some people do that? Yes. Does everybody do that? No. I ask my clients this all the time and they get mad at me. When you say that everybody word, it changes the whole thing. Yes, it does. It changes the meaning of it, which is why we do it. But we have to start looking at these things. And I had to start looking at that and looking at my life differently. How did this change my work life? I work from home. Having my husband home all the time changed my work life. It changed my work hours, changed the way that I do things. It wasn't necessarily all bad, but it was all that unknown and that turmoil of leading up to all of that. I also had this sense of urgency of like having to get everything done before he retired, which is crazy. Now I'm looking back on it going, what was the rush? Like, what was this panic mode on the inside of having to get everything done? What exactly am I getting done? Like there was just this sense of weirdo-ness that I went through, and I literally had to sit with myself, find safety and security, do my healing work around all these things that were bringing up these insecurities for me. Because this is the other thing, when we have all these things going on, it is an opportunity for healing and growth if we choose to take it. That's the key, is like if we choose to take it. And if you're listening to me, I think you're choosing to take it. If you're here, you're choosing to take it. You're choosing to see life in a different way. This is the glory of really hitting rock bottom, having an opportunity to look at every aspect in your life. What's working for me? What is not working for me? How can I readjust this? How can I see this differently? What are some of the changes that I need to make in my life? How can I see things differently in these changes? And am I going to give myself the freedom and the space and the support and the compassion and the love to make these changes in my life, or am I going to fight it every step of the way? Because what happens is our ego gets in the way, and our ego doesn't want this change to happen. And so we can stay in resistance to it, or we can learn to allow these things to happen. Change is going to happen in our lives no matter what. I work with a lot of women who go through with the change of their kids growing up and moving out, and they struggle with getting the kids through this stage of allowing them to be adults. They still want to kind of micromanage them. They want to tell them what to do, even though they're right there on the edge. Maybe they're not quite 18 yet. They're still right there on that edge. I watched many women struggle with this. If you were one of them, I understand. I remember struggling with that too. I have 4 adult kids now, but it's so cool because once you're on the other side of that, you can create this new relationship with your kids that is glorious and beautiful and amazing, having an adult relationship with them instead of a parent child relationship. But there is a little bit of a hump there that we have to go over. There's some rocks and some big boulders that we feel like we got to climb over, and we really have got to let go and allow our kids to be, allow them to make their choices, allow them to make their mistakes, allow them to deal with consequences, good, bad, ugly, otherwise, whatever it is. This is part of the adult world, right? And taking ourselves out of that responsibility mode with them and allowing them to be. It's a beautiful process. It is. But this is how it can be in every part of your life. You can do the same in the other parts of your life, no matter what you're struggling with, no matter what's going on. How can you flow with it? How can you allow it to happen? How can you allow it? And how can you look at it differently, see things differently? What parts do you need to heal from so that this feels different for you in your life? The difference between truly hitting rock bottom and maybe seeing it as a bump in the road is how you feel about it and what you tell yourself about it. But most of us tell ourselves it's the most terrible thing that could ever happen to us and this is miserable and we're all going to die kind of scenario, when we could be telling ourselves, no, I am capable. I'm able to do this. I will deal with whatever comes. I can handle this. I am smart. I am courageous. Yesterday, kind of a squirrel moment here, but yesterday I was up flying with my husband. We have a little airplane for those of you who don't know, and he's got his private pilot's license, and we took a little trip to Meeker, Colorado. I don't know if you know, if anybody knows where that's at, but it doesn't matter. But anyway, we took off, and as we took off, the plane started sputtering a little bit. Now, this makes my heart go pitter patter. You know, it's one thing to have your car sputter on the side of the road when you've got four wheels on the ground, but to be in the air and the plane sputtering and that uncertainty and that not knowing, and I'm not driving. I'm looking to my husband going, what the hell is going on? And why is the plane doing that? And oh my gosh, we need to circle back around. And, you know, we had just taken off. We were close to the airport. Um, I wasn't trusting the plane at the moment, but I was trusting my husband. And so he said to me, we're just going to circle the airport for a minute just to see what it does. That way, if we needed to land, we would be close to the airport and we could land. Well, it worked itself out. I'm not sure. We're still not sure what happened. But it stopped sputtering and missing, and we were able to go and still fly to Meeker. We flew home. Everything was fine. But it was really interesting because I have um, things that pop up in my phone that I use as mantras every day for myself. And do you know what popped up while I was freaking out um, in the middle of all of that? My mantra that says I'm a badass and I can do anything. Now, coincidence? I don't think so. I just happened to be in the airplane when that popped up. Yes, it goes off every day for me, but it happened to go off while we were in there. And it was really interesting because in that moment, I saw that and I completely relaxed. I was like, you're right. I am a badass and I can handle any of this. We can handle this. We can do this. We've talked through emergencies. I don't know how many times we've talked about what we would do. My husband has talked me through it. He has shut the plane off while we're in the air and glided to show me how far the plane could glide if we didn't have an engine. So we've done these kind of things. We've prepared ourselves. And so in that moment when I saw that, I was like, oh, you're right. Now my heart still did a little pitter patter. It makes me completely nervous to think of landing somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. But we made it. And I talked myself down off the ledge. And this is what we have to do. The difference between feeling like a total failure and being able to do what we need to do is really talking ourselves off the ledge. And you can do that too. So if you want to use what I do, I have my cell phone. I set reminders throughout the day that have my mantras in it. I'll even share some of them with you. They have my mantras in them that I use all day long. Yeah, it says my one that came up for me, it says, I'm a badass and I'm confident and I can do anything. That's what it says. And then I have others. It says I'm a powerful manifester. I have that one that goes off during the day. I have sexy swag. Hey, how's that one? I love that one. Um, I accept that good things come my way easily and quickly. What a beautiful way to think. We can use these. I have these that go off all day long. Right before I go to bed, I have one that goes off. I have one that reminds me that I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing good things. I'm doing amazing things in this world because we all need reminders that we're doing amazing things in this world. So this is kind of how we can get out of this gloom and doom and really start ourselves on the path towards becoming the version of us that we want to be. This is about everything that I do and all the work that I do. This is really what it is becoming that very best version of yourself. Everybody that I work with, that's what we're doing. It's what I do every day. I'm really working towards being that better version of myself. letting go of the fears, letting go of the resentments and the anger and the sadness and the sorrow and the depression, allowing myself to step into more happiness and more joy. A lot of times we wonder, why do we do this healing work? Why do we do this? To me, we do it so that we can enjoy our life on a different level. It is not about our stories in the past. It is, but it's not. It's about really learning to step into life, enjoy it on such a different level, getting out of the ego mind, getting out of our ego, and really learning to embrace and love and accept this part of ourselves. It's really what this is all about. So know that if you are someone who is hitting rock bottom, you're someone who feels like everything is falling apart, that nothing is falling into place. For one, know that you're on the right path. This is what I'm going to tell you. You are on the right path. You are doing good things. The reason that it's all falling apart is because it's time for this shit to crumble. It's time for you to embrace a new part of you. So if you can know that you're on the right path, really allow yourself the freedom, the space. Maybe you need to take a step back from it. Maybe you need to give yourself a break. Maybe, if it's in your business, take a step back, look at it from a broader point of view. If it's in your relationships, do the same thing. Take a step back, look at everything from this broader point of view. Sometimes just stepping back and getting a new perspective. That's how I look at flying. It's such a different perspective up on the ground versus on the ground looking at things straight ahead of you. It's such a different perspective. And if we can get this different perspective in our lives, it's going to make things look a whole lot differently. So if you can get that different perspective, really take a step back, take a deep breath, know that you're on the right path, and know that you can reach out and get support. We all need that support. We all need help. I work with people every day going through the toughest shit of their lives. And we're doing it. We're doing it every single day, and they're rocking it. So you can get that support. You can help them. You can help yourself. So if you're looking for support, I would love to support you in that. You can go to my website, see how we can work together. There's multiple ways that we can work together. I have memberships. You can just come be part of the memberships. If you want just a way to, an easier way to be involved, all the way up to my VIP programs and my coaching programs. I do private coaching with people. I work with people every week, every day, pretty much. I work with people in my private coaching, helping them with their specific needs, helping them live their very best lives. That's really what this is all about. So know that you are supported, that you are loved. And, one last thing, there is a power out there so much bigger than us. And I know, for me, it's not about religion. It's not about any of that. It's spirituality to me, and knowing that there is something out there that I can reach to for support that is something way bigger than me. And I know that this God energy has my back. I know that my guides have my back, and you can know that too. Sometimes we don't always feel supported in life, but we can know that we have this team of people. We all have a team. We all have people on our side, and you can know that they're there for you too. So putting that trust in something or someone is essential in getting us where we want to go. So I would love to be your support system. I would love to do this for you. I've helped hundreds of people work through their issues, and you are not any different. I promise you. So if this is speaking to you, reach out to me. I would love to meet with you. And I wish you all the very best. Know that I see you. Know that I know that life does not always hand us the freaking roses that we want, but we can learn. You can learn to work through them on a different emotional level. So I hope this has been helpful for you. So much love. I'll see you again. If you know someone who could benefit from this, please like, share, send them a text message and ask them to watch and have them join in, because the more healing work we do together, united, we change the world. That's how we change the world. It all starts with you. So thank you for being here. So much love. And I'll talk to you all very soon. Bye-bye.